Welcome everybody to another Friday Challenge, October 4th. We're going to have ourselves a good in the upper left-hand corner of the map. It was the man you see chatting. Hey, mate, I don't know if he is Australian. And he says, tractor shoot, question mark, question mark, question mark out of the opponent. Mouchoir, not sure. I'm so confused by the chat that we might as well get the introduction started here. In the upper left-hand corner, it is BrickS playing as the red Protoss. In the lower right-hand corner, it will be his opponent of mouchoir. Mouchoir, maybe French? Well, definitely French. Don't need to say maybe. I know mouchoir is a French-type name. Doesn't necessarily mean he is French, but we're going to go with it. So we'll have French against Australia here. It's going to be a battle of the... What are we going to... Battle of the Ages. Let's go with that one. Battle of the Ages here with the Friday Challenge to build as many cannons as you can. Oh wow, how do you supply your block yourself that early? So he was a little bit supply block, a little bit off in the timing of the pylon, but either way, he's going to get that baby doing a whole bunch of pointless scouting of his own base. Don't know where to start with that, but either way, he got his exercise, did himself a little jog around the base there. Now he's going to stand over here. Why does this probe have so much interest to me? He's a little bit weird. Yeah, moves over there and stops. But we do have Forge going down at the very least here, so we're going to start with the good old Forge for a good amount of bricks. Meantime, their opponent does check the back corner. This is the worst. People proxy here all the time. I've been proxy here before in lost games and been freaking pissed. Let's go with that there. I hate that spot. Usually what they'll do is they'll build their shit down here and then they fly it up right into this corner of the base. It's happened to me once or twice. Trust me on that. You slowly learn to start scouting on certain maps, you know, because it just happens so often. So there we go, where you get the first scout for a good amount of bricks. Meanwhile, the opponent is checking for cheese everywhere. Really worried about the cheese. Yeah, he's checking all corners. Very good job by him, I will say that. I always think it's a good job to do that because especially in the lower level leagues, people do it so often it's just pathetic. You know, I promise you, I'd say it's on about a 20% scale. Let's run with that. I'd say 2 out of every 10 games you get cheesed if somebody does something stupid like that. But either way, bricks, apparently look at the cheese. There you go. But in the meantime, this opponent's just too smart, man. Very well done. Opponent's all over the place. His last thing he wants to see is some sort of cheese. Gets a lot on that cannon there. Not too sure if you need to pull that many probes off the line, realizing that it's probably not going to be a warp in this early in the game. But either way, if we take a look at the other end here, yeah. Yeah, nothing but the Forge. Okay, so definitely wasn't doing so. Good stop. BrickS congratulates his opponent. I always find it funny, you know, people that do stuff like that to congratulate their opponent for random things. I think that's kind of cool, you know. You know, it gives them a little boost, and at the same time, it shows that you're not an angry person whether you win or lose, I guess. You have the one gas going down 4 bricks, puts down another pylon. This pro's just going to kind of hang out down there. Nobody really wants anything to do with him here. Still has a Zealot over here as well, so very well done there. His opponent is going down, looking to expand nice and early, so he did the fast expand, the Gateway Cybercore fast expand, as we call that. And it looks like it is a Forge slow expand for his opponent here. So he's got a standing probe. Another standing probe. Both of them trying to decide, I don't want to build that fucking thing. It's way too big. You build it. No, you build it. You build it. Fuck you, I'm building the cannon. There you go. So he's going to go build that cannon there. Going to get down another pylon. Make sure he doesn't have an artifice pylon. Finally gets down the Nexus here. It is the same guy. So the other probe did win that battle of who had to build everything. What the fuck? That much probes over here having a little bit of a meeting. Do like to see that there. Maybe a little bit of misclick, I would have to imagine there. And maybe not. We got a few more over here. Yeah, I'm not too sure what his plan. What are they doing? I think he must have accidentally misclicked a lot of his probes. They're just kind of standing around, or maybe had the rally point at the wrong spot at one point in time. There he goes, gets them all back to work. So BrickS is on the ball here today, just not the quickest in the world at this time. Over here we do have our expansion going down. In the meantime, what is he going for build? He's going gateway, into a pylon on the outside. Good placement of that pylon, so it looks like could be a 3-gate robo. Soon going to find out here. Does have an Artosis pylon. Don't like to see that. Want to get a second pylon out somewhere around there, as it's been very deadly. It took me well, not forever, but it took me a few games to learn that, you know. Times where you got a better army, a lot more production buildings, and those Artosis pylons, they drop in and just killed a couple pylons, you're pretty much toast. It hurts. It hurts, I know. Reminiscing over the times that I've lost to crappy by myself. But like I say, you learn, and that's the thing I like about StarCraft. It's a great game. It's got a fairly decent learning curve to it, I will say that. But you're always going to learn at a certain pace there. Trust me, you'll experience his losses, and those losses definitely help you to grow better, I'll tell you that much. So there we go. He does realize what is up there. Didn't like the one cannon, so he's going to retreat himself out of there. Both these guys are sitting fairly even right now. Both of them have both bases up and running here. Still got 3-gate. Is it going to be 3-gate robo? Pretty standard build coming out of his opponent here with warp gate technology finishing up. Take a look at the APM tab, 4539. Not looking too shabby there. Take a look over at the production tab. You can see at the other end it is more or less cannons than anything here, which is exactly what the challenge is, so very good job. Well, he has himself sitting on 1 gate without a cyber core at this point, man. We are 7 minutes into the game. Might want to start focusing on the macro game, just maybe a little bit more heavier on the production buildings here. That's for darn sure, because he could get in a lot of trouble if his opponent elects to push on this. Especially with the 3-gate robo push, once he gets that immortal out there, it could be big trouble. Twilight Council's coming down as well. Very, very interested to see what he's going to do with that. Has warp gate technology, not quite using it as of yet, but at the same time he isn't building anything out of the warp gate, so not really hurting him at all. So mouchoir, I'm going to have to say that you are probably doing better in the macro game so far. Maybe might not have the income advantage. Oh, actually, you're very even on the income, even leading in the gas. So yeah, you're actually looking pretty good, 37-36 as far as worker count goes. Take a look at the good old production, or the building tab there. We do have 5 cannons so far, so looking pretty good. I'd have to imagine that number is only going to get higher. Up here, he's got nothing really building up at the main base, but finally getting his cyber core down at the 8.5 minute mark, so very well done there. Does finish up, and he's looking to go get a third, it looks like here. Yes, he is. He definitely has the money to do so, so could be planting that down right away. Very decently done. We'll at least give him a little bit of an advantage in the income tab there. In the meantime there, we are going to get ourselves out an observer. Meanwhile, we have a supply block to ourselves. Mouchoir! Please get some pylons out, Mouchoir. Mouchoir finally gets the pylon out. Or is that a French accent? Mouchoir. Mouchoir. I don't know. But either way there, like I say, still a little bit of an artosis. This pylon down the back here really only powering the forge and the cyber core, I do believe. We'll lose 3 gateways if he does end up taking out the 1 pylon there. Very good job getting out 2 nice sentries there, which will definitely help him for defense here. In the meantime there, does have an observer going across the map there, probe going across for BrickS, observer for mouchoir, so he will get him over there and at least scout what he has, but I think there's way too many cannons depending on what angle he gets in on the base here. So it is going to be Stargate, double Stargate into a robo, going very, very heavy on the gas, a gas and mineral type build. Didn't actually expand at all, it was just a scouting probe. Okay, I thought he was going to expand over there. Might look to expand in his natural third, which would probably be a pretty good idea. No, he's just going to continue floating around here. Going to work on 2 base. Very interesting. So the observer will sit on the outside of the base. We'll know exactly when the army moves out of the opponent here. It looks like Blink Stalker is going to be his choice. He's going in the Blink and Colossi as well, as you do see the Robo Bay coming down. 2 more cannons coming down for our good man of BrickS, and 4 gateways working on here. So looking pretty good there, yes. Getting the production buildings out that he needs. So finally catching up on that macro game here. So has himself running on a total, where is his gateway? 3 warp gates so far here. So not looking too shabby on that count. Might want to look to get the rest of the gateways into warp gates, would probably be a pretty good idea. So he has 4 total up there. Oh, 5, sorry. Yeah, he's got 5 altogether. My count. God, I can't count today. Opponent has 3 warp gates to the 5 standard gateways. And the observer does get out finally for BrickS, so he's going to go to get a little bit of detection out there. Fairly decent idea. 9 cannons on the map. 3rd finally comes out. Very well done by BrickS. In the meantime there, he still has his random traveling around the map probes here, keeping an eye on everything. And there we go. We do have mouchoir with another observer. Just going to sit above his base here. Kind of keep an eye out for darkies coming in, I guess. It would probably be the idea. Has another one out there. So getting a fairly good observer count. Very curious how many observers he wants to get out here. It's going to get himself out 3 more gates. So definitely going in with a gateway build. Has another gateway that hasn't gone into warp gate technology. So like I say, probably going to see a mass amount of stalkers come out here, as Blink Stalker was his choice here. And he's going to look to take out the rocks so he can finally get himself expanded into a 3rd. Here we are going with a bunch of long distance mining probes. Didn't realize that their nexus was built. Have a little bit overkill on probes up at this base here, so I have to imagine he's going to move a few of them down. And up at the very top, they're not quite fully saturated, but it's getting down a pylon with a couple more cannons right in that mineral line. In the meantime, there finally an observer is going to come out here to get in the base with the Mass Cannon Friday challenge. Probably not going to work so well, as he's going to have lots of detection out here and lots of cannons out here to take out this observer. But the observer is going to elect to sit just on the outside of the base there, so we can see when the army moves out. This probe's still wandering around doing nothing. 3rd base is finally going down for mouchoir. And does get that one into warp gate finally. Has 4 more that he wants to get in. Lots of Artosis pylons. Wowzer, there's another one powering 4. So if he ends up taking that down, plus the Templar Archives would end up going down as well. Is getting the upgrade and has elected to go with Darkies. So he's got the Dark Shrine down there. So we are going to definitely see some Darkies in here. Some Colossi are coming in here with their upgrades coming. And yeah, should be fairly interesting to see the build that both these guys do elect to go with. We do have ourselves up to a good old cannon count of 20 Key. Not looking too shabby. Production tab shows it is going to be Archon, so he's definitely not looking to go Storm. Will be nicely done with the Archons here. They're going to knock down this rock tower to build themselves a little bit of a wall up here. Very well done there. Very smart job. There's a couple Archons on the map here. Do have himself with the 1 upgrade. In the meantime, their opponent has himself with the exact same upgrade, so both of them very even. Lots of sentries for BrickS there. So very well done by BrickS. Like to see the center count up nice and high. Will make for good force fields and guardian shields. In the meantime, there BrickS is sitting with his observer right outside the base, so he will know what's going on here. This observer isn't doing fuck all. He's just kind of standing himself out in space. But either way, he's got map vision over here in case an air army comes in, I guess is the idea there. In the meantime there, we are still scouting around with our probe. Haven't elected to take our natural third as of yet. Let's take a look at the good old units tab here. It does look like we have ourselves a count of 5 Zealots, 1 Stalker, 5 Sentries for BrickS, and of course Mothership Core. To the 7 Zealots, 2 Darkies, 2 Archons, 1 Colossi, 1 Stalker, and 2 Sentries. Very big mix of units for our opponent here. Of course, the 2 Darkies, I would have to imagine they're going to come in. Yes, they are. They're going to go see what they can see. Now, this is where that cannon count's going to help. You're going to detect every one of these Darkies that happen to try and get into your base. They're both coming in from opposite side of the maps. Make sure there was no hidden expansions. And he will actually be able to get into the third if he elects to do so, but he's not. He's going to try and get through that front door. That's not going to work so well. Way too many observers, way too many cannons. And over here, you will get in over here, though. There's nothing for cannons. There's a lot of cannons going down, but no cannons are finished as of yet. So this could be a little bit of trouble. He's going to start slicing and dicing over here. Just one shot in these probes, left, right, and center. A lot of probes going down to this one Darkie here. Looking pretty good. Got 6 kills so far. Definitely paying for himself here. But once all these cannons finish up, he's going to be in a lot of trouble over here. He's going to take out the cannon at the back of the base. That's not really going to help him a whole lot. But either way, that's what he's going to like to do. Fair enough. But if he does end up... No, not going to work. So that will pretty much unpower everything here. That's not going to help. We'll finish off the buildings there. Very good job by me. In the meantime, he is also putting some harassment in over here. Looking pretty good. Some harassment with his 1 whopping probe. Here's the other Darkie scouting out for everything he can see. And it does look like that 1 Darkie did end up going down over here, so very well done. Did he go down, or did I lose track of him here? No, he's still going to work. Wowzer! There, cannon finally finishes there. Finished him off quite easily. So very well done there. But in the meantime there, they did come over and finish off that 1 probe that was kind of disturbing him a bit there. Still has the 1 Darkie left, which will stand itself over here, see what it can do. Take a look at the good old production tab. Does look like we have ourselves up to 30 cannons on the map now, so not too shabby. There we go, getting himself a good old pylon over here, probably looking to expand or just use that as a proxy. In the meantime, there still have the scouting probe. Basically pylons everywhere. Okay, he's keeping an eye on all the bases here just so he has an idea when the opponent expands. Very good job, not a bad idea at all. Plus you can elect to drop some cannons in the back to possibly delay any of those expansions. And here we go, we have a bunch of transferring probes over here. Got himself a very good army, sitting himself at 002 for upgrades. Meanwhile, the good man of BrickS has himself sitting at 001, so might want to start getting some more upgrades out here. Is starting to get into some Tempest, has some Void Rays out there, a couple Tempests coming in. So looking pretty good, lots of Warp Gates out here, 2 more up here. Is getting some carriers as well, so looking to get into a bit of a Sky Toss slash army. Seems like it's Sky Toss day. Every Protoss guy we watch seems to like going to a Sky Toss army, which makes for a very interesting game, so I do like to see that. And even in McMurlin's game, it was all air as well. So yeah, apparently air units are basically the choice. Well, it wasn't all air. There was some Hellbats in there, but apparently that is going to be the choice in these games here. So I'll sit back and relax for a little bit here. Fleet Beacon is out. Does have upgrades for the carrier, so very well done there. And yeah, 38 cannons, not looking too shabby there. Looking at our good old unit tab here, we do have the 2 Tempest, 1 Stalker, 1 Void, 5 Sentries, 5 Zealots for BrickS. And the opponent still has a 1 Darkie, 3 Archons, 3 Colossi, 1 Stalker, and 2 Sentries there. So yeah, of course with the good old Tempest, they're definitely going to counter off on these Stalkers. Just not a whole ton of ground units for the good man of BrickS. So he's not going to like the unit compilation once he does engage with BrickS here, because he's going to have a great big advantage with the air. Take a look over here. He is finally cleaning up on the rest of these good old proxy pylons that are sitting around here. So very good job, but at the same time, BrickS does know that his opponent has expanded, so he knows he's sitting at least 3 to 4 bases. Usually if you see an expansion come up there. In the meantime, he's probably pretty happy. He's already sitting on 4 bases. All of them are pretty well saturated here. This one's still overly saturated, but not doing that bad of a job, and is missing 1 on the gas up there. Take a look over here. He has fully saturated this. Has a few guys getting a break, but that's quite fine. I'm sure they'll move pretty soon. And 3 and none mining off of this gas. So I would definitely recommend possibly maybe paying a little bit more attention to idle probes. Would probably be a good idea there. He did manage to get rid of one of the ones off the line here, and no, didn't saturate the gas with it. Probably put it out to build some more cannons. Yes, he did. And we're going to go to get that cannon count up a lot hard. What is? We're at 43 so far. Of course, we have a lot more buildings, so that will definitely increase that number. Meantime, their opponent's going to sit in the middle of the map. Is pretty much fully upgraded here, or not fully upgraded, fully set, or fully built up to 200, sitting at 182. Still sitting on 0-2 for upgrades. Nothing for the airs. All he has is really the mothership core, so really no need. In the meantime, there we have 0 for air upgrades and 1 for weapon upgrades for BrickS, so a little bit behind on that game as well. And here comes a lot of finishing cannons. So what's that going to bring our count up to? Oh, opponent's going to move in at the same time. We'll have to keep an eye on this. 49. There's 50. There's 51. There's 52. 53. So we did hit 53 for a split second here. Of course, that number is going to go down dramatically here. Now the opponent has moved in. Opponent is going to continue to focus down these pylons here, trying to empower what he can. Zealots are getting in there. Zealots do have Zealot legs as well, so that is definitely helpful. And now the Tempest is going to come out here. They're going to see what kind of damage they can do. I don't know if opponent feels pretty confident, seeing that there is no army up there. Oh, might end up getting one. Not quite. So he is going to move right into the base here. Now he's pretty much committed to this here, as he is going to push really hard here. Army's going to sit in there. So now I'm going to have to see. BrickS' army is probably going to come over here. Yes, they are firing away from long distance here. Ground army's coming around the outside. Is warping in a lot of stalkers. Going to see what kind of damage he can do. Observers are also getting in there as well. He's in a lot of trouble. mouchoir is putting the damage, putting the beat down on him here. Colossi are fending off that entire ground army in the back. There's a lot of Colossi doing damage here, especially with the 2 weapon upgrades. They're going to look to clean house in the ground army. There we go. Now the range is going to kick in. It's going to start paying dividends for him here. He's on the high ground. Stalkers are only attacking the interceptors. That's not doing him a whole lot of good. Of course, the Colossi won't do a darn thing to these air units here, but they might end up killing the Nexus. It's going to be very, very close. I don't think so. He's going to be forced to push himself out of there. Not that bad of a job there. He does clean house. Actually, mouchoir had the advantage for a couple seconds there. Once all those air units started piling up on him, that was pretty much it. So we are up to 46. We did have ourselves at 53 at one point. So that is the peak so far in this game. One observer is sitting there. Didn't actually kill anything. Basically lost just a ton of units is all that happened for mouchoir. Didn't really help him at all there. Oh, we even have a darkie out of our good man of BrickS. So BrickS also getting the darkies on the field here. Not too shabby. Still take a look there. Does have himself back to 46. I'd have to imagine that's going to increase at some point here. If we take a look at the good old production tab, you can see we are getting upgrades left, right, and center. Opponent's also looking to get some carriers out here. No, he's not actually. Sorry, he's actually getting the Phoenix one here. So he's going to increase the range of the Phoenix weapon there. Meanwhile, we're going to go into a little bit of Void and Blink Stalker for our good man of BrickS here. So fairly interesting choice out of both these guys. There you can see the Phoenix is starting to get laid down there. Also have a carrier coming out as well. So looking pretty good. Take a look at the good old proto tab here. The good old building tab here. Still sitting at 46, but a lot more cannons about to go down here. As you can see, all of them being planted around the good old 5th base of his opponent. So BrickS looking pretty good here. And BrickS' opponent of mouchoir, just a ton of gateways. Hasn't really gone into anything overly special by no means. Does have 2 robos sitting there. And has himself a massive amount of stalkers and phoenixes this time. He's kind of ready for the air now finally, realizing that the Colossus aren't going to do a whole lot of good. So we're going to start pushing pretty hard here. Phoenix is going to get in first, which is kind of pointless. You might want to control the army a little bit better. Those phoenixes, you might actually lose a fair bit of them here. And they're actually going to fly right past everything. Okay, fair enough. So the units will come in here, and Skytoss army should be coming to engage this at some point in time, unless he's just going to lose the building. Did put Photon Overcharge down, so it leads me to believe he's going to bring his army in here at some point to try and fend this off, or might just take it as a lost cause, as he's pretty much going to have it melted well before he gets down here with his slow-moving vehicles. Here goes all the carriers. They're going to try and get down there as best they can. Like I say, 53 looks like it's the peak that we're going to see of the cannons here, as we don't see any more coming down. And he's going to come in with the Skytoss army, see what kind of damage he can do. See if the opponent has enough micro to actually focus these down, or if he's just going to sit there and shoot at the interceptors. Phoenixes obviously aren't the best against carriers. They really tickle them more than anything. And they're going to find the retreat, try and get that range. They want to sit over the cliff and chase him right out there. So takes out the base. That's pretty much a win for him. Also puts a couple of immortals in his army here. So that pure carrier definitely needs something to help support him. Needs to get those Tempests out so he can get some range in there as well. In the meantime there, we will take a look way down here. It does look like he had a bit of a base starting to establish. You see he did cancel a couple of his buildings, still does maintain a few minerals there by doing so. And he is actually looking to start pushing here. He's got some Voids coming out, got some Tempests, got another carrier coming out. So he's got his Skytoss army looking pretty good here. Is well down in the food count. There's our cannon count. Holy Oh boy, cannon count is about to get ridiculous here, especially as his opponent is distracted down here, taking out all these here. The cannon count should get pretty good. He's going to take out a few of them, but at the same time he's got way more buildings, so we're going to see what our peak is actually going to come out to. It's going to be fairly big, I'd have to imagine here. Takes out the rest of that base. Very well done there. There's all our cannons. They're going to slowly finish up here. Still no upgrades for the air of BrickS. A little bit surprising there, considering he's going pure air. Still have 3 weapon upgrades for the ground units over here. And nothing for the air either, so they're very even on the air upgrades with zeros. And our peak is going to start to hit here unless the opponent gets in here and starts melting all these built-in cannons. We're soon going to find out here. In the meantime, it does look like we are ready to expand over here, so very curious. There we go, cannon count starting to hit. We are up to 56, 57, 89, 60 cannons. Wowzer, cannon count has really gotten high now. Now we're going to go over here. This base is trying to get established, so he's going to take this out. The opponent of mouchoir has a ton of minerals in the bank here. Very surprising, considering he's got a very high-end army. What kind of high-end? I guess a lot of more gateway units. And here we go. It looks like the engagement is going to happen here. Lots of interceptors all over the place. Really need to go to work on all these stalkers here. There's the carriers finally coming in the back here. Void Rays are going to work on all the stalkers. They're going to go to work on the carriers as well here. Looking pretty good. I don't know if the carriers of BrickS are going to be enough for this. They're really doing a lot of damage here, and it looks like they will actually finish this off. Leaves them with nothing but Colossi. These Colossi are going to go down very, very quickly unless he gets them out of there. Immortal's trying to get out of there at the same time here. Does himself the job he needed to. Will finish his base off here. So does win that engagement. That is for darn sure here. 62 cannons now. So we have got ourselves a new number of 62. And is re-expanding over here as well. Very well done by BrickS. In the meantime there, he still has this base over here, which you might look to start getting that up. A lot of cannons sitting in the middle here, so kind of has that roadway blocked off here. Would be kind of neat if he blocked off this road as well here. But either way there, he does finish that off, and there goes a few observers coming out as well here. So mouchoir is going to retreat them back to the army that he's got sitting over here, which is a fair mass amount of stalkers he's got putting in there. Take a look at the unit tab. He does have himself, yeah, just the stalkers for anti-air, so 14, and then there we go. We are getting ourselves the High Templars out here. Not too sure if he's going to look to go Archon or if he's going to look to go Storm. We will soon find out here. Let's see, did he get Storm? No, it is definitely going to be Archons. Doesn't even have Storm research. In the meantime there, he is elected to expand over here. Has a lot of long-distance mining probes until that expansion gets up and running. And still 0 upgrades for the air. Like I say, if you're going Sky Toss, why not upgrade them? That's very odd. In the meantime there, we are still going with these Phoenixes here. Like I say, Phoenixes don't do a lot to Tempest or Carriers. Just too many hit points and not enough damage for the Phoenixes. Unless you have a super massive amount and you're trying to kind of micro around, I guess it might work, but I don't think it's the best counter by no means here. In the meantime there's all the probes. They're going to get back down there and start mining away. And we take a look here at the structure tab. Still at 62, so hasn't built anymore, but is going to try and engage one more time. Soon find out how this one's going to go for him. Lots of carriers, lots of interceptors going down here. They're going to work, trying to clean up this army. He keeps bringing the Colossi and the Immortals in here who don't really do anything. Looks like they're going to clean this up quite easily here. Wowzer. Void Rays coming in the back. Very well done. This could be the end of his opponent here. Just a ton of voids. They're going to work on that last Phoenix here. Oh, he's got the Colossi going the wrong way. Uh-oh. They're all going to get melted on the way out of there. So takes out the rest of the Colossi. Left him with a few Immortals, so the Immortals could go do some damage down here. But the cannons are down there. They'll take that out quite easily. Very well done there. Have to imagine this Skytoss army will come back here and try and take out the rest of these Immortals before they melt the rest of your probes in your assimilator. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Nicely established base over here. Very well done by mouchoir. And they do end up coming in the background here. Even the probes trying to get in there. Why not? Not the probes really do anything to Immortals. But either way, does clean that up fairly easily. Has a few observers in there as well. And he ends up... Oh no, still has one. I thought he took out an observer. Maybe not. There's how you had detection here. So one observer will sit above that base. Did not get a kill on the assimilator or the Nexus. So really didn't do anything with the last few Immortals. And we are back down to 61 cannons. So 62 still being the peak number. And we'll sit back and build some more cannons. Why not get that cannon count up there? So we will get a few more of them out here. And in the meantime there, we are up a little bit for mouchoir at 147 to 139 for food count. Finally got an air upgrade for a good amount of BrickS. Ground upgrades, finally got one for the armor there. So he's 1-3 on the upgrades, or 1-0-3 depending on how you look at it. Has a couple standing probes there, to have finish off the gas. Over here it looks like we do have a dark that finishes off the one random probe. And other than that, not a whole lot happening up. Oh, he finally did. I was going to say, you might as well warp in on this pylon and try and clean up whatever you can with Darkies here. So this Darkie's actually going to go straight for that pylon and try and take it out, which it should do quite easily here. Still some random scouting probes for BrickS. And it does look like some voids are ready to start moving out here. 3 voids by themselves, probably looking to go down and do a little bit of harassment, or not. Maybe they're just on some sort of patrol point. Looks like that's exactly what they're doing. So those voids are on a little bit of a mission. Skytoss Army still sitting over here, kind of maxing and relaxing. Has not quite mined out there, but let's see, what is he mining off of? Mining off of at least 1 base. At least, wow. Okay, 1, 2. Well, we'll be 3 bases soon, so not too bad there. Still keeping his mineral count up there. So you got 1 base. 1.5. Yeah, about 2.5 bases mining there, so not like a too shabby for mouchoir. In the meantime, we also have a couple phoenixes here. So BrickS did build phoenixes, but I guess they just like to hang out. So they did actually end up taking out the observer. I do believe that was over here, or he moved the observer with his army, not too sure. But either way there, he is accumulating a lot more stalkers. Zealot counts is very high, considering he hasn't seen any ground units out of BrickS here. So a little bit confused as to why he went with a lot of Zealots. But either way, we are up to 68 cannons. Do have a lot of sentries, a lot of voids, a lot of carriers, and a Tempest moving across the map here. So it looks like BrickS is ready to put the pressure on here. Meanwhile, the opponent, I don't know how he's going to handle this here. Like I say, I don't think he has enough. Way too many Zealots in this army here. Definitely unneeded for those Zealot count here. Has a lot of money. Gas count is fairly decent as well. Almost sitting at 1,000. There we go. Do have a Darky over here. It is being on BrickS' base. Oh, there goes the good old Void Rays. They do find some Phoenixes in the middle map here. We'll bring the rest of his army over here. Should be able to clean up the 3 random Void Rays. And the Skytoss army is going to come back over here. See whether or not they can clean up the army of mouchoir. That's exactly what's going to happen here. Here we go. He's going to look to take out you actually get the base kill. There you go. Zealots did do something for you here. So now once we get that prismatic lineman on here, I would have to imagine that's pretty much going to be GG here, as he finishes that army off very, very easily. And we'll go to work on the rest of the ground army. So very decent job, easily cleaning this up here. Mortals go down, a few high templars in there as well. So cleans up that army quite easily. As you can see, it's 154 to 100. Yes, definitely big advantage now for BrickS. Looks like this could be GG, and yes, it is. Very well done by BrickS. My congrats go out to you. My condolences go out to you, mouchoir. Please don't let the phone ring, especially when I'm cooking dinner, because I don't know how to write notes to the president. You be good. Don't hurt nobody. Peace.